So we're here. We're starting to strip the donor truck for the square body build. Off camera, I got the other day. Actually, I got the rad support gutted. I got the T case off the back of the transmission. I've got all the shit loose underneath. No more transmission cross member in there. I'm hoping to just take the transmission and engine obviously together up the front. We'll see how that goes. So I just pulled into the shop. It's been sitting in the compound for a couple weeks. Haven't been overly ambitious getting a bunch of stuff done, so we're behind by quite a bit on where I want it to be by this point, but that's okay. That's the way projects work. Had a bunch of maintenance stuff to do on a couple of other trucks of my dad's, so it'll be fun. We'll let this warm up a bit just so I don't break all the plastics and everything, and then we'll get after it. So we're going to start with removing the belt and the alternator that we expertly installed. Be nice to have this engine out today. We'll load the truck up. Well, I've still got to gut the interior out of this truck too, actually. But it'd be nice to at least get it on the trailer. Get the intake off. I'll just start with getting some of the wire. So here we are, the donor engine and transmission are out. I didn't video taking it out because there was other people working here, so it was loud and whatnot. So yeah, there it is. I washed it up. Got most of the greasy shit off. Pulled the engine harness off, washed it up because we might end up slimming this one down. I bought a cheap Amazon one, and it's perfect. So yeah, it doesn't, it said on the ad that it did the 6L80 and 6L90, but looking through all the plugs, there is not a single thing for the transmission. So yeah, that could be fun. So I don't know whether I'm gonna slim the original harness down yet, or whether I'm just gonna pin in, because I popped these off, and just steal all the pins and wiring off the other harness, pin it in here, and make just kind of like a separate harness that goes down the transmission. Hopefully we can make it all fit through there, because this harness actually makes it so you can put the PCM inside the cab, and that's kind of what I'm going to try to stick with. If we have to, I will find another way. But we also have, for the transmission, this is a seal. Got it. Feels too light to be it. Nope, that'd be it. GM parts from Amazon. It's kind of weird. Yeah. So this is a tail housing. Convert this transmission to two-wheel drive without having to pull the transmission apart besides this tail housing. It's off a 2010 Camaro with a 6L90 or 80. Yeah, I got the part number off of Google, off some of the forums. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm hoping it works, because it'd be super nice not to have to pull the transmission all apart. I mean, if we will, we have to, because if you look, this transmission's not original. So that's pretty cool. It shifted really good, fluid's good. So that's one bonus. What else do we got for goodies? So that's one. There's a little bit of, so when we pull this tail housing off, we got to drill holes in the transmission. There's two little plugs that you have to drill a small hole into, just so it gets some oil flow into the tail housing area, because the four-wheel drives don't. I think these are, oh, that's a coolant tank. All sorts of parts out here. So I bought that style mount. We also have these. Yeah, so we got this style mount too, which is like the this bolts to the truck side, and then this piece bolts to the engine, so it makes it very adjustable. I don't know, last one I did, I just used the plates, these ones. So yeah, I don't know which one I'm going to choose. There's still a couple things up in the air on which way we're going to do it. Hopefully, yeah, now that I made a mess. So we're hooked up to the square body, dragging it in. Sometimes you got to improvise. I don't like lifting them this way, but it is what it is. When you're by yourself, you just got to do what you can. Yeah, we'll get it inside and let it thaw out and see if we can get an engine. At least, we'll probably just put the engine in the box. Do some organization of parts, and I don't think we'll try shooting it into the hole today. So it's about a week later. Yeah, I pulled the square body back in, pulled the engine out of the box. Tonight we're going to try playing with getting a two-wheel drive converted. The cheap and easy way. It involves just pulling the tail housing off and using a 2010 Chevy Camaro tail housing. And drilling, you have to take out the seal that's in there. And you also have to drill, there's two plugs that you have to drill out so there's oil flow through the tail housing. So yeah, this past week I worked on after work. I got the harness pinned in for the most part. So that's the old harness. The swap harness is up here. There's There's the pins. We got a bunch of loose wiring, transmission pigtail. I don't have it cleaned right up yet. They're pinned into the PCM harnesses. I also had to do, there was no O2 provisions in this harness either, so I had to swap them out of the original harness. So there's some extra work there, but I'm fairly confident it will work, and if not, well, we'll figure it out and make it work. So yeah, I'll get you set up and we'll get the tail housing off. So our next plan of attack is we're gonna get the exhaust manifolds off. I know for sure there's one broken bolt on the other side. So we'll just start with getting them off, because you never know, you might break bolts getting it out. Move that back, get a little more room to work. If that don't move, we're gonna cheat. We're just gonna zip cut this and we'll tack weld it back together. We're cheating. We're gonna choose to cut it somewhere that we can easily tack weld it back together. Probably about there. Now this will slide up half. Should slide up half. Snowfall, take a shit. Right after try to look at it. Should you be using the impact to break these all free? No. Am I going to continue using the impact to break them all free? Yes. Yeah, so that's off. carefully than that. And we'll take the buffer wheel and clean that all up. Okay, guess what? Lipstick moves now. This is a little too early to quit on trying to get it to turn. Right, that side is done. We're going to see if we can nicely turn this. Deal with the other side. I don't know, I think I want to put the headers on and then try lowering it in to the truck with the headers on. See how well that idea works. That's the only one we're going to have to move just because of broken bolts at the front. We'll find out, I guess, if these bolts come out as easy as the other side did. I hope so. Yeah, that one broke. So we now have two to extract. Should have tried tightening it back in. Should have just took it up. Well. Because it moved, usually they come out easy. Especially once you weld it up to them. The heat really gets in there and just has fun. These, I'm not going to try to jinx myself here, but usually these are pretty easy to weld a nut to, being that it's aluminum heads. We'll see. I've had pretty good luck with the Chevys and the bolts just coming right out. That being said, like I said, I just jinxed myself. Probably should pull that spark plug off. Man, it must have been off not long ago. It was popping right now. So this is an 8mm nut I'm going to weld onto there. You got to make sure when you're welding these, that when you're welding, you get broken bolts out of heads, whatever. You don't use the gold plated nuts. You got to be this. There can't be any of that, because that coating that they put on them, it affects how the weld is, and you won't get a good weld. actually had better luck too with studs that are broke off into the head a little bit. These ones are broke off, sticking out. I don't know why you think it sticking out would be a little easier, but I think it just concentrates the heat down into the head a little more. That's just my guess. So working back and forth. Hope it just comes out of there. Ooh, that one's getting tight right away. Might have to chase those threads a little bit. Out of there. Sometimes too when you're welding, so like this bolt, because I was using it as a ground, sometimes they, I don't know if they melt or, it's more so probably arc their way. Sometimes you gotta give them a little. I'll do the same thing as the other side. We'll just buff this up, and then we'll unbox some headers. So these are the headers. I spent a little more money this time on headers than my last swap. The last ones, they worked okay. I ended up having to dent them and stuff to make the spark plugs fit past and like the boots. I'm hoping I don't have to do that to these. The reviews on these were good. The only thing that I don't like is there's no flange really here. So you pretty much have to shove the pipe in there and weld it. But that's not my problem. That's going to be the exhaust shop's problem this time. But I liked they're welded all the way around. They have the O2 sensor bungs right in them already. So I'm hoping they're good. But we're going to see if we can test them. Ooh, and they come with gaskets. And fairly thick gaskets. So, yeah, see if we can get these on. Don't really have proper bolts, so we'll have to see how that goes. Well, that's going to be it. I had to pull the headers back off. I had them on. Tried fitting it in there. The headers don't fit, but I think it's because those engine mounts, they set the engine way too far forward. So I got to do some modifications. Probably just going to lob them off here and then weld them straight to the square body cross member there. So should work. But so there it is. The engine is bolted in there. I ended up doing like what I said and lobbing the plate off and just welding the bottom part of the bracket on. It worked. It's nice and centered in the engine bay. It's sitting low, it's sitting back. Now I have room. Before I didn't have room. This was up to like about here. By the time I got the rod in there, I had no room for electric fans or a mechanical fan. And the headers fit. So that's wicked. So we definitely got some progress done. We got the engine actually in. We got the transmission converted over to 2-wheel drive. Overall, not bad. I was hoping it'd go a little smoother than that this weekend, but it's okay. I'm happy. The engine is sitting in the truck. That's going to be it for this video.